we go through this entire episode here with this to realize that you need an anti-sanguine potion in order to be able to effectively damage the heart to take it out, and you also need Haven Silver weaponry. More on that in a little bit. And this, of course, goes back to what we talked about last week with the Silver Quill boss fight, where your damage is lowered if you aren't using the Haven Silver weaponry on this heart.
Yeah, they're setting up the mechanics for these sanguine creatures, which I can only assume will carry through to the future.
Yeah, it seems like this is like their upgrade path thing, like the puzzle box or like the four, where it's like you upgrade your weapons.
You can upgrade your
upgrade tier or upgrade pet track.
Yeah, I think they talked a lot on the stream about how they hope to do that. We'll see if it materializes. I think that they've set the right groundwork for it. Not to mention, I think we might have skipped over this. The name of this quest series is Sanguine, so this is the thing.
Sanguine is the thing.
This is what we're gearing up to. Whether that ends at the Grazi Blood Knights or goes further into Vampirium, this is kind of like our first inkling at our big bad for the quest series.
And clear differentiation there. It's not the Haven Hive quest series, it's the Sanguine quest series.
Right, they could do a different quest series here in the future. Thank God they named it this instead of Haven Hive quest series. I feel like we had our desert quest series. We're never going to do another quest in the desert again.
Nope.
But I mean, when we look at this, there's very clear vampiric connections with this. What are our lore connections with this going to Vampirium?
I think where you have to put on the giant tinfoil hat.
Okay.
Because
I asked you to make one for this week, did you?
No. You didn't paint? No. I mean, this is reminiscent of a lot of things, right? It's very, I'm going to say the word. It's kind of, to me, cerebral. I think that it evokes some of those like eldritchy tentacle gore type things.
And we know where that goes.
The whispering and the alluring.
Yeah.
I would pretty definitively say it's not Zautak. I don't think it has any of the.
Yeah, it doesn't really.
But I think that they were very keen to tease that there were other things in Erebus at the end of the Desert series with the Claren's very explanation.
Yeah.
And this is, in my mind, something along those lines, or a piece of one of those things, or its minion, or whatever.
Because we had a whole
spreading influence
discussion there at the end of the Desert Quest series about whether or not that Erebus reference meant that at some point they could open the door to, go back to what we experienced in Extinction and, maybe have interactions with Zaros again because the players love him and everybody else who went into Erebus. But like we said at the end of that quest line, I think the most interesting bits about that were looking at it from, that very restricted angle to the point that it's done how we did those things in the Fifth Age, where it was very much as though that this might be a thing and we might be bringing these references into the game, but you can't exactly cross that line anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's what made the Zautak stuff so popular, is that it was very reserved and it, for a point, it was used sparsely. We kind of jumped the shark at a certain bit there. I think the other option. So at the end of the Desert series, we go in. Ixalar goes into like the Titans and stuff like that, more Zautak level. But I think the other interesting thing that we've talked about relatively recently, was all of the necromancy elementals from Sanctum. And it's not lost on us that the Lord of Bones gets referenced in this expansion. So they're not like leaving those things back at Sanctum or Underworld or whatnot.
Yeah, they're definitely tying into the necromancy stuff.
So it could be also more along those lines of like maybe.
So where does your tinfoil hat come in?
One of the two.
Either.
I mean, if you want to go really tinfoil, The heart says something along the lines of "They will all betray you," which was a line that the Blood Warden said during the City of Santistan quest when he was rambling about the prophecies about what was going to come to the Elder God Wars dungeon. So, if you really want to go all the way beyond, like maybe they're tying all this blood magic stuff into some new. Do you really think they can save them? But probably not.
I was worried about
coincidence.
that because that sounds an awfully lot like that.
If they're like, do you think you can save them? Start off as just a thing that someone said once, and then it got repeated, and then it got repeated again and again and again.
That honestly sounds like a Mod Raven thing for a live stream, maybe.
Could yeah.
I don't know where it came from, but
so if they're trying to start a new mantra or whatnot, then they have 2 instances now, and it's definitely like this what it tries to do to lure you is like trying to like seed doubt and whatnot. So wouldn't not work.
There's no other better thing to do, I think, at this point in time, in terms of seeding doubt, because it's something we run into in our day-to-day lives, where everything we read, everything we watch will try and make us question that, to the point where we live in this world where you don't know what is real. And, obviously we're not going to have a full quest line about that, right? But at the
very
same
topical in the AI age, yeah.
Exactly. Very topical. But if they can, kind of, lean into maybe some of that in terms of those colossi or what have you that you were mentioning, maybe that's a positive direction for these to go, just as a tiny, tiny bit of commentary on this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. And I also think that what they have done here is that they have also provided a great amount of storytelling in the first 2 Sanguine quests that, to the point that, we haven't been led along and we haven't been made to wait, weeks or months between chapters as well. And I think as long as you can, keep dripping that information out and maybe creating a bit of a blueprint about the way we're going to go, I think it's much better to have these storylines moving at this pace rather than, waiting, 18 months for the next piece, as we were with things like Desperate Measures and whatnot.